All right.
All right.
Golf advice. Let me read a quickie here. Quick
All
one.
right.
This comes from Brett. 34, married, 2 kids, no interest in fighting. From Brett. As referenced in recent golf advice segments, I've splurged and bought the new Red Bull Racing branded driver. It is very late in the season here, but I was able to get out for one last frosty round. I think he's in Canada to try it out. On the last hole of the day, a long par 5 into the wind, no hazards. A second shot situation left me flummoxed. I was out of range for my 5 would have a chance at reaching the green, so I had to decide if driver off the cold, hard deck was worth the risk of scratching up my brand new race car driver. If this were a midsummer round with a well-used driver and chance at an eagle is absolutely worth it, but a gouge out of the bottom of this new weapon on the last shot before 6 months off would certainly leave some remorse. My question to you is eagle chance on the last hole of your season worth the risk of damage? So let's more broadly create this hypothetical about some risk reward of a great eagle or great chance. Maybe it's a tree, a trunk that could break an iron or something. Like, where do we balance this? With I wouldn't have the Red Bull driver in my bag. So at this point, you spin it, I would say no. I wouldn't say off some frosted, cold, hard ground in Canada, even though you have it. I wouldn't try to damage your new race car driver. I don't think it's worth it because I don't think you probably have a chance at making eagle anyways. Right? Driver off the deck, and you're going to then make the putt wherever it goes.
I would go for it. You know why?
I know you would.
Then you got, if somebody looks at it, it's like, what happened here? You're like, I went for trying to make it eagle. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. That's the, like how are you ever going to go for it if you're worried about this kind of anecdotal stuff? I will say though, I was playing this spring in the desert, and I was playing with my old my beautiful Wilson blades, and I got in the desert a few times. I just started pulling the ball out. I was like, fuck this. I'm not dinging these things up for the desert. This is just not worth it. I'll take my penalty. I'll get out of the desert. I'm not screwing up my clubs. So I don't think
it's worth the story. Yeah. What story? You ended up topping one down the middle of the fairway, and now your Red Bull's all scratched up.
I don't think it would have scratched it up, though.
Yeah. He seemed to have some trepidation about it. I don't know
what kind of junk driver are you creating if you're in the fairway and it's gonna get dinged up? Like, what kind of junk is going on there?
I don't know. An extra $200 worth of junk. So, all right, what do you got? A golf advice? You got one for us? Ready for it?
I got a bunch of them. I got a couple here.
I love that firsthand testimony of the Red Bull driver in action.
Do you want just a general maybe issue that shotgunners in general are dealing with? Do you want that?
Sure.
All right. This is a little bit different golf advice. This is like golf watching advice.
Okay.
I'm not seeking advice pertaining to the game specifically. Rather, how do we, as loyal supporters of the game of golf, convey that the Netflix Golf Cup never needed to be a thing? Why does a game that has so many positives to sell to the general public create such a bullshit display of all things wrong with the game? Where did we go wrong? I've listened to this podcast for a very long time and found myself, after 15 minutes of cringing, watching Finau line up some F1 driver for a putt for like 10 minutes, then watching a Squid Games challenge hole where someone made a hole won $4.5 million would go to something never quite understood it, as Bert Kreischer didn't explain it well enough. All in all, I'm not very optimistic that pro golf will ever get it right, and quite frankly, I no longer want them to. Give me the majors, bring back the goddamn Western Open, and let the rest be whatever it is, completely meaningless golf. This is signed a 29-year-old childless non-combatant. So what do you do as a golf fan at this point when you find all these conflictions?
I mean, is he asking whether we should tune into the Netflix Cup and other goofy things that don't pique your interest? Just go outside, go for a walk, watch an interesting documentary, read a book, right? I mean, invest your time in golf where you feel most fulfilled and rewarded. And Maybe it's not always rewarded. Maybe it's sometimes thankless. Maybe it's joining the pack like Rory. Or maybe it's joining working a local, whatever, volunteer grounds crew at a Muni. Maybe it can feel thankless. But I'd say, and I don't know, I guess it sounds idealistic in a way, but put your time into something that feels like a little, fills up the tank. Feels like you've done something greater.
I think you got to change your perspective. You're thinking about all this stuff as too serious of a vein. I think just I was struggling with Twitter. Twitter's like a part of my job earlier, like maybe a year and a half ago. You tweet the sky is blue, and you got an army of people coming and yelling you, telling you you're wrong. And as part of my job, it just wore me out. And I decided, you know what? Why don't I just have more fun on Twitter? Why don't I just go on there and rile people up? And
it's the best.
Go on there and tweet stuff that I don't even believe, that just gets people riled up, or tweet about things I care about. Tweet about, Illinois basketball or Bears football. You know what? It brought me more joy. It brought me, because I would laugh when somebody would come back with something ridiculous. So when you turn on the Netflix Cup and Bert Kreischer's on there talking about Xanax, needing to pop Xanax to do something, just laugh. Just be like, what's going on? Think about how this came to be and laugh about that. Think about, just
don't
have fun
indulge
with
the
it.
people who try to tell you this matters, or it's serious,
or
it's growing the game, and you can tell them to pound sand. But consume what you want to consume. Spend time with what you want to spend time with. But
and find humor in everything.
And just keep your guard up. Whatever you invest your time in, may come around and punch you right back in the face. Like an unexpected Wednesday afternoon announcement that your quarterback is done for the year, when all hope and optimism,
I forgot about that.
We're on the way up. So
forgot to ask you about
choose
that.
how to invest your time, where to put your emotions.
What's your golf advice for Browns fans?
It's tough. It's hard.
Is it? It seems like kind of a good outcome for you.
No. Well, you couldn't be too broken up about it, because it was Deshaun Watson. It's the most Browns thing ever. It's like, we just had the greatest win ever. Greatest win, greatest comeback. Just an amazing circumstance. Lasted 2 days. Everybody, this Sunday was the closest we were ever going to be to the dog pound of old. People are just barking at the, revved up. Steelers coming to town. We're 6-3. Great win. Humming. It was, I guess, tickets were through the roof. Everybody was fired up. It was going to be a cauldron. And then, boom. I don't know. It's a tough thing to wrestle with. So we'll see. I think we still got a pretty good team. I think maybe we call Tom Brady. People are suggesting Matt Ryan. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's cursed franchise. So that was a real unexpected, real kick in the nuts in the middle of the week, because no sign that was coming. So, all right.
Well, I think you might be better off with PJ Walker than a guy with a torn muscle in his shoulder.
We're not even playing him. We're playing the rookie, DTR, Dorian Thompson.
Had to wish you had a Dobbs.
I'm aware. Yeah, I'm aware. We got rid of him. We shipped him out.
Here's my advice to Browns fans: you're not the Bears.
Yeah. Problem is, we've been the Bears for the last 25 years.
The Bears have been the Bears too.
Right.
So
just couldn't have nice things. Oh, well, it wasn't even nice. It's Deshaun Watson. It's you don't even know what to do with it. But we're out. All right, that does it for this Friday episode. We'll be back with you on Monday, and then we'll get some year in review going as Thanksgiving bears down on us next week. Everyone enjoy your weekends. Thanks again for all your support. It really means a lot. We'll talk to you on Monday.